Hello and welcome to episode number 308. This is the Project Management Podcast at pm-podcast.com, and I'm Cornelius Fichtner. This is a premium episode, so it is recorded and reserved especially for you, all our premium subscribers. Thank you so much for your support. Are you managing projects in marketing? If yes, then perfect, because this interview is for you with tips and tricks and insights. And if your answer is no, then it's still for you. And that's because marketing projects and the approaches used are not that different. Maria Kozlova from comindware.com speaks to this at the very start of the interview, when she emphatically says that the ideas we talk about translate quite well. And so, even though we focus on marketing projects, by the end of the discussion, you will agree that project management offers powerful capabilities of organizing how your team, department, or company. And as with any other business management solution, the methodology and the software need to be selected to best fit your specific business case and objectives like improved team performance, process transparency, or financial savings. So, let's get creative. Enjoy the interview.
The Project Management Podcasts feature interview.
Today with Maria Kozlova, Product Marketing Director at Comindware Incorporated. Hello, Maria. Welcome to the Project Management Podcast.
Hello, Cornelius. Happy to be here.
So not all of our listeners will be managing marketing projects. And so I have to ask you this before we even get started. For those who are not managing marketing projects, what will they get out of our discussion?
Well, marketing projects are in many ways quite similar to any kind of other non-professional or accidental project management. So to my mind, this is the common tendencies, the approach that can be taken, can be interesting to the general audience as well.
All right, can you give us an example of a typical marketing project? I have personally never been involved in one, so I don't really know what goes on. So, what are typical customers? What are the needs of a customer? What do they ask you to do? If you could give us a little bit of a general overview here, that would be perfect.
Okay, project management in marketing. So first of all, before we move on to identifying typical projects, I'd like us to take a look at the following difference. There's marketing projects in marketing agencies, and this is case number one. So let's say it's a marketing agency providing PR services, providing video content services, etc. Basically, such types of projects will be very much close to solution delivery or consulting projects, because this is not so much about internal back office projects. These are customer facing and revenue generating projects. The focus here will be on meeting the deadlines, staying on the budget, making the customers happy. This is not quite so for marketing projects when we're talking about working within the company and projects in the marketing department. So when you're asking about a typical project in marketing, so I'd say that let's maybe focus on working on a project in the marketing department. And the basic example here is a website rollout. There's a lot of things that you have to take in mind. There's the brand management team you have to get involved. There's the designers. There's the web team. There's you need to get subject matter experts for product. Product management has to take a look at what you're writing. You have to get a lot of approvals from the board. So it's a lot of work. Usually it happens twice a year, because the project cycle is about 3 to 4 months to get a new website rolling.
All right, so let's get into these type of projects. But first, what are the latest tendencies in marketing operations that you see?
One of the key tendencies that's affecting the way people are working is remote teams, remotely located teams Right now, you don't have all the teams in one room or in one building. You can get a lot of services outsourced. You can get video recorded via internet. You can have voiceover also from a third party contractor. You can have partners globally for doing this, and that. And that's what changes the way people interact, the way people need to schedule to schedule meetings, to set priorities, to actually orchestrate the project. That's one thing. And another is working with their own devices. That's also, and in cloud, that also changes everything. You have to have a unified data storage for all the remotely located team members being able to reach out to the information that they need. I'd say that's number 2.
And what's the impact of all of this to the projects that you run?
There's much quicker turnarounds for tasks. Job is done much quicker. You can get results much quicker. And what is for a project manager, the impact is the more pressing need to have a real-time visibility into how everything's working, to make sure that you have the greatest efficiency and utilization of all the resources that you have.
I assume the reason why you do run these as projects is the same, right, as everywhere else, in terms of why do we even do these activities as projects?
Yes, surely. The main reason is to maximize efficiency of what you do. And in marketing or in any kind of projects, you need to have clarity on how much resources you're spending and on the return of investment that you're getting. And a project is the only way to see that. There is an alternative organizing work in as processes. This is where you can also get efficiency increase and better results for the company. However, you will never know what the work actually costs, and you will never be able to deal with work conflicts and things like that.
And all of this, of course, has to be enabled. Nowadays, we're talking about software solutions that we use to help manage all of these projects in this highly dynamic environment. How professional does it have to be? I mean, can I just simply use, Microsoft Excel and develop my project plan in there, or do I have to go more professional?
That's a great question. Again, we're coming back to the 2 types of marketing projects. One is marketing projects in a company that delivers marketing services. And here you have to be very professional. You have to have the application that you're using has to provide the fully professional, fully functional suite, like maybe even including portfolio management. That's assessing risks and return of investment for each project. Maybe not for all such kind of projects. Still, always you need the basic capabilities for timesheets reporting, for budget estimates, and things like that. In case we're talking about marketing teams within small companies or medium companies, that's different. The project management is pretty much like task management for them. What is critical here is the capability to see priorities for each team member to report. Maybe they can do that even working from their familiar Microsoft Outlook interface. And this is one of the key things that our product enables. Because basically for project managers, yes, you need complex planning tools, but for team members, what is required is reporting and centralization of information. They don't need such complicated and heavy tools like their bosses do.
The environment that you're working in here for the marketing environment, it's highly creative. Things change and new ideas come up constantly. And maybe you start out in one direction, and during the project you realize, oh, we have to go into a totally different direction. So again, this sounds like agile to me. How is this agile project management in marketing? Is that a promising alternative?
We do see it as a promising alternative. In terms of positioning it to the market, there is some challenge. most of the marketing teams are non-professional project managers. It takes some time to explain what we mean, what value we bring through agile project management. However, in terms of the benefits this approach brings, those are great. Those are really great. You can restructure work very quickly. You have quick turnarounds. You can work in defined time slots, and change priorities on the fly, which is not possible with a waterfall approach. Basically, agile is the best option for marketing teams.
Mm-hmm. You said that they are not professional project managers. Are we talking about accidental project managers then here? Just somebody who happens to work in the marketing department and they say, oh, here is a large customer project, manage this without any training or anything else.
Maybe that's not the best way to say.
Yes.
However, we have not seen a better alternative, and it does it explains the case in the best way. Basically, the key difference is that professional project managers, like in solution delivery companies, professional services companies, the primary responsibility is managing projects. They spend all their time in project management applications and dealing with resource conflicts, etc. This is what they do. This is what their job is. With marketing teams and with, for example, projects in education or projects in IT, there's basically what the application has to enable is to minimize time spent in this application. That's not the primary job for a marketing person to be managing, to be setting up the priorities and resolving conflicts. So these are two completely different ways how people work, and the applications have to provide for accidental project managers, have to be simple, have to be agile, and have to minimize time spent in them, because teams have to be doing what they have to do, spending time on creative work. That's what they need.
You also said in the beginning when we talked about the project teams that they are diverse project teams. So they're people from many different areas that come together, and they're often also distributed. So how does collaboration among the teams fit into all of this? I guess it must be a big part on a marketing project.
It is. Again, this is the more team members you have and the more diverse they are by role, by their background, by responsibilities that they have, the closer collaboration you need within the team, and the application has to enable that. That has to be possible in the discussions. You have to be able to get people on board on the discussions with quite easy onboarding and not spending time, here's the history, you have to read those 100 emails, and only then you get the idea of what has been happening. So it has to be really easy. It has to be quick. You don't have to have limitations in terms of who you can have on this discussion and for a project.
Okay, so we have diverse teams. We have multiple ways that marketing departments have to deal with projects, internal, external. We need sometimes a professional solution. Sometimes, Outlook might be enough. Agile project management is a good approach. We have accidental project managers who work on these. We have professional project managers. We have collaboration that plays a big part in all of this. What's your conclusion?
We're talking about the best practices and sharing best practices for marketing teams. Again, the way I would recommend looking at it would be to identify the core problem and the core objective. If what you need is a solution to maximizing your free time and the capacities that you would have for creativity and for things that are your primary responsibility, you have to be looking for ways, for tools that enable that in case you're working in an environment and with the tasks that require maximum time spent on resource allocation, on managing conflicts, etc. You have to be focusing on fully professional project management tools that will enable that. You have to be basically working from the key challenge that you have and the key objectives that you want to achieve.
Okay. How can we translate that for our listeners into actions that they can apply on their projects? Let's say somebody is indeed working in a marketing environment, they're managing a project today, and they see, okay, we seem to have a problem because we don't have an application and a technology solution that supports all that we do. Other than going out and buying your product, Co-Mindware, what would you recommend that they do? What would be the first 2 to 3 things, in addition to what you have just said, that they can start doing on their projects?
First thing would be to get our team together and talk to them and identify what problems they see, because sometimes and it's a very often case that a project manager has one view and thinking in terms of simplifying life for them, and this is one thing, and the other completely different case could be for team members. They can be quite fine as they're doing and maybe not requiring any changes, and on the contrary, there can be great opposition on their side and difficulties adopting new software. So first thing, when thinking of a new application, a new project management application, I'd recommend you get your team together and discuss with them how they think what is required, what is needed to maximize efficiency of what they do and how they're working. Basically, that's the key thing to do.
Okay, so you're basically saying, start with the team, start at the center, because the team is what you want to improve or help with the project. So go to the team, ask the team what they need, right?
Exactly, because that will ensure much easier new software adoption. This will ensure that they will be cooperating. Any new software will require training, will require familiarization with the product capabilities. And the more complex the functionality and things that you need to do in the application, the more time it takes to learn how to do that. So you need to have your team work with you on learning how to use this application, on understanding, on accepting the new ways how to work, because this will change their life.
Excellent, Maria. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much, and bye.
And that was Maria Kozlova and our discussion on managing projects in a marketing environment. That's it for today. Thank you very much for listening. As always, you can find us on the web at pm-podcast.com. If you are a project manager who wants to become PMP or PMI ACP certified, then the easiest way to do so is with our sister podcasts, the PM Prepcast or the Agile Prepcast, and study for the exam by watching the in-depth exam prep video training from pmprepcast.com. Please send your emails to info@pm-podcast.com, and when you write, please do tell me where in the world you are writing from. And finally, we have this. If the project scope is allowed to change freely, then the rate of change will exceed the rate of progress. Until next time.